Hi there, I'm Lewis Foster from the Manx Radio Newsroom. Thank you for choosing this edition of Newscast. Now, ahead of the general election, the Manx charity Crossroads is asking candidates, what will you do for the island carers? It's written an article titled The Hidden Economy of Caring, in which it says, we spend a lot of time talking about the cost of care. We spend far less time talking about its value. Yet without unpaid carers, our health and social care system would look fundamentally different. Jackie Betteridge is the CEO at Crossroads IOM. Jackie, thank you for coming in this morning to speak with us, and we've had a heads up about your article, all about the hidden economy of caring. That's the headline on this article. You've put it out at what I would argue is a very important time. Why have you chosen to put this out now?
Well, I mean, it's always important. It is at the heart of everything that us as an organisation, as Crossroads, does. But right at this moment, we're about to have a new administration, and there is definitely not enough money being spent around social care. But it's not just the money, it's the value of what happens within social care and the savings that are made by hidden carers.
And we look at some of the election candidates so far. We read some of the manifestos. Have you seen caring mentioned at all yet so far?
No. No. I think it's probably very low down people's priority until it hits you or it hits a member of your family. I don't think people have an understanding of it. I mean, we're all very... We understand death because people have funerals and people go to funerals and it's all very sad. Caring can go on for donkey's years, and to enable somebody to stay within their own home setting and to have whatever life is normal for them, because we've all got a different normal, is incredibly important. And carers who give up work, look after their loved ones, it can be one hell of a journey.
One thing we have seen candidates mention as a priority, though, has been the economy. And in this article, you explain that the two go hand in hand, really, and there is an economic factor to both what the carers themselves take on during their time, but also what they save the Isle of Man government. So why explain that now? And what do you want people to take from this?
I think I've been explaining that for a long time. I don't think we've necessarily been heard. But I think if you look across our nation, sometimes we throw money at things that actually only create more problems. They don't actually solve the problem. And I think by looking at where we stand within a social care setting, we've done Noble's Hospital, where people need to stay within their own homes, stay out of a system. You are going to be reliant on the population. That's us, the voters. Yeah. So us, the voters, actually need more concrete commitment by government to actually go, we recognise you, you are carers, you are actually saving our economy, but the value that you bring to the island is phenomenal. The amount of people that actually care for their loved ones at home is tremendous on the island. We know we've got an ageing population. I'm kind of sick of being told we've got an ageing population. That's been going on for donkey's years. So, but we're not ready for that. We keep looking at bright, shiny and new, and we're not actually looking at how we can deal and how we can help and what the value is of those people that actually, husbands, wives, mothers, daughters, friends, it doesn't matter what it is, who actually go, I will keep this person at home because it's the best place for them. And this is where they want to be. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of residential homes and a lot of nursing homes that we're not going to be able to afford. The economy is out of balance. Social care needs to be taken a lot more seriously.
And now, Jackie, we have spoken previously over a number of years, and I remember one time, I think it was outside the government conference, actually, a couple of years back. What has this administration done, do you think? Has it progressed since 2021 in this area?
I think it's quite a tricky question, isn't it? So being part of the third sector of the Sir Jonathan Michaels report, they've done bits of it, but sometimes when you do bits, and we're very good at just doing bits, it doesn't make the whole, so you never have the outcome that you were hoping for. And whilst the I suppose whilst Manx Care has had 5 years, 5 and a bit years now of running, it has done what it's needed to do. But possibly at some point, the social care element has not been properly looked at. And, the Departments of Health and Social Care and Manx Care are determined that they're going to do Home First. How can you do Home First if you don't have the buy-in of family carers? You're never going to be able to do that. So it's actually having the buy-in and actually making them understand that people are really important in this. They're not just to be dismissed. They are saving the economy, which is a huge value to our island. And almost people just take it on and expect to do it. That's incredible in this day and age.
How many carers would you say we have on the Isle of Man? Because I think that's what we were talking about last time, was about an official kind of register, but there are some that are in a caring role but wouldn't actually class themselves as carers. Is that right?
No, and I think as you get older and you do that mutual caring, it's only when it hits a pinch point that you probably go, oh, actually, I'm more of a carer than a husband, wife, brother, sister, whatever. We actually have over 500 people on our books, which is probably the tip of the iceberg. I'm hoping within this next administration we can actually recognise carers, and even if they don't need help at this stage, but they want to be recognised as a carer, I think having a carers register is a really good idea. Not so that we can grab names, because lots of families do just cope, but lots of families can't cope because I think people forget that, we're born, we do whatever, we have deaths, births, marriages, divorces, separations, people get older. It's very difficult to go, right, I am never going to actually need help from anybody else, because that's not actually true. So it's that realisation about what is it that us as an organisation, Crossroads Care, we've been doing this for 40 years. We're going, carers are part of our community. They are the people that vote, and they should be recognised more. There is the carer strategy.
Yep.
There is a carer strategy. Crossroads wrote that, and it was adopted by the Department of Health and Social Care. That is slowly trickling through, but bureaucracy does get in the way, which obviously as a third sector organisation, that's quite frustrating.
I was looking back at your State of Caring report, this between 2024 and 25. You spoke to 370 carers at the time, just about the pressures they were facing, and you put together some next steps, some targets, and you spoke about continuing your partnership with the Department of Health and Social Care, building strong relationships with the third sector and statutory partners for the betterment of carers in the Isle of Man. How has progress been going since that report? Was it worthwhile, do you think?
I think it was worthwhile. I think that we're not going to let go of it. That is for sure. I feel that it mustn't be railroaded into specifics, because you can be a carer for anything. There is a multitude of reasons why you become a carer, and I don't believe that anything outranks anything else. So we've got a meeting. Our next meeting is in September. We are on the track. We're on the track, and as you can imagine, I sit on that, so I make sure that I pull it back as and when it needs to be.
But they go well, those meetings.
Yes.
And so just finally then, Jackie, I think, again, just coming back to this article, there's some stats that you've put in there about estimates suggesting unpaid carers save the Isle of Man between 40 million and 90 million pounds every year. Do you think people reading this will be quite surprised by that?
I would imagine they would be very, very, very surprised. But if you think how much it is to live in a residential home or a nursing home, I don't know what that is. Say if it was £1,000 a week, and that's just an average, that's £52,000 a year. You times that a few times by at least the people we've got, and you get some big, big numbers.
And it's interesting, again, we're talking about the upcoming general election here on the Isle of Man, but over in the UK, they've recently had a new Prime Minister, and one of the first things that was addressed in Andy Burnham's first couple of weeks was social care reform. Have you been paying attention to what he's been saying there? What are your thoughts on that?
I have, and I have. I've been doing this long enough to have been around when social care sat by itself. In fact, I think at one stage social care was the biggest, had the biggest budget because it pulled in everything. I think it was better when it was separated from health. Others may disagree, but social care is the backbone of how we live on the Isle of Man, because anything could happen to anybody at any time. You could be in a car accident, you could have a sport injury. All of those things could change your life, and for many it already has. So I hear what Andy Burnham's saying. We aren't the same, obviously, as the UK, but yeah, I think we need to properly have not just reform, but properly look at social care and what we mean by social care and who is in receipt of that social care. Because it's always about the person with the illness, the disability. It's never bigger than that. And that's what the carer strategy was about. It was to go, who are the people that actually are giving up and sacrificing part of their lives to look after their loved ones, to keep them out of a system? And what is our new norm? And people's new norms change all the time.
Jackie, thank you. Just finally then, what would your message be to candidates, voters, carers out there looking ahead to this general election?
To carers, we will never stop the fight until it's in a really good place. I think that could be many years yet. And to any candidate, Crossroads, I'm always open, and so is the staff, to speak to any candidate that wants to come and speak to us. You know, this is important, and we're not going to let it go.
Jackie, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to mention while the record's on?
No, I just take my hat off to every single person that gets up every single morning and does what they do, because that takes strength. And for many, when you're not feeling great yourself, that has to be really, really hard to do. Please get in touch if you need help.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.